Hey guys, welcome back. This is Neil. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're gonna cover Captain Marvel. Now, this article came out a couple days ago. We just have not had time to get to it.
Yes.
But it's a very, very interesting piece. It's in InStyle. And for those of you who were concerned that Captain Marvel was just gonna push an agenda and it was just gonna be a film full of feminism and activism, you're completely right.
Well, according to this article. Yeah, because people keep arguing with me when I say things like that. They're like, oh, well, you don't know that. You don't know that. I'm like, well, the hurro, if that didn't clue you in. This article flat out pretty much says so.
It absolutely confirms pretty much every worst fear I think a lot of people have had. Now, Disney themselves they've tried to be very neutral with Captain Marvel, but not Sana Amanat. Sana Amanat is not a writer for InStyle. Sana Amanat is actually I think she's the content director and character manager, or some such
character
title.
character
Development person.
Whatever,
at
yeah.
Marvel.
So she works for Marvel.
She is high up the food chain at Marvel. Sana Amanat actually works for Marvel, and she's writing an article.
Sponsored post.
This is absolutely sponsored content. There is no doubt that there is clear bias, but the thing is because it's coming from Marvel. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know that this is what Marvel's take on it is. Now, just real quick on Sana Amanat, she does have a lot of kind of controversial opinions. She was caught on Twitter bashing Republicans. She took those tweets down, and last year she did an interview with CBS This Morning defending diversity and talking about how Marvel is going to push more into diversity in the future on CBS, which was very curious because usually when Disney promotes things, they do it through media outlets they own, like ABC or other magazines that they own. So I'm wondering if this isn't just Sana acting on her own, because it just seems very odd that she's using media outlets that Disney does not own. That's very unorthodox if this were a Disney thing.
So, and InStyle to boot. I mean, which they make sure there's a photo shoot with birds the whole way through so it fits the InStyle format.
Yeah, and the weird thing about this article is it literally could have been in any magazine. It could have been in like a food magazine, and they could have just had Brie Larson eating hamburgers just to make it fit. But they got it into InStyle. But yeah, so we'll get into this. For those of you wondering if the movie is going to have an agenda, there is no question. None whatsoever. So first, the article talks about Brie Larson's childhood and how she got into acting, and it's innocuous enough. We're just talking about her life and what she's done. And then it just kind of comes down to this right here. Here about halfway through is where we come off the rails.
Okay, so then we start going on of part of the reason Larson took on the role of Marvel's ultimate feminist icon. Wait, I thought it wasn't feminism. Ultimate feminist icon, Captain Marvel, is due to the character's own sense of humanity. She didn't apologize for herself, Larson explains. It felt like that was a really valuable trait, which I guess, because she is incredibly flawed and makes a lot of mistakes and has to atone for them, and that's super valuable. She's not ever shrinking herself down. Well, the good news is the character has flaws, which is something I was worried about.
Yeah, and it's again, when these kinds of articles come out, as someone who's worked in corporate PR, there's a reason they choose the wording they choose, especially since this is not an unbiased journalist. This is this is coming from Sana Amanat at Marvel. I think she's addressing the concern that people have that she is going to be a Mary Sue, that she's not going to have flaws. This is a direct answer to that.
Right. I mean, and that's good. I mean, we want a strong character. And that's something that's going to come up later is my problem with Captain Marvel isn't that she's a female superhero. My problem with Captain Marvel has been that's all she is female superhero. And I don't want to see that. I want to see a good character first that happens to be female. And we're not, and it's the push has been, it's a character that happens to be a woman before it's a good character. So.
Yeah. So here's where we really have a concerning quote here. It also linked back to her mission of filmmaking with a purpose. The movie was the biggest and best opportunity I could have ever asked for. It was like my superpower. This could be my form of activism. Activism,
yes. Oh wait, but there's no activism in this.
They have been insisting, Disney and Marvel Studios have been insisting for months that this was not going to be an activist film, and now we have this article by Sana Amanat and Brie Larson. Yes, it will be activism.
Do we mention activism? And feminist icon. Feminist icon and activism. So we got that so far in this article. I do like that dress, though. I would wear that dress.
A lot of birds.
I know, there's a lot, yeah, I think it's because it's flying and flight, or I don't know.
They're going further, faster, higher.
Whatever
it is. The hashtag birds. No cats.
Higher,
no cats.
higher, further, whatever it is. But anyway, yeah, where's the cats? Because it'd probably get more attention as cats. So yeah, it's talking about this. Yeah, here you go.
Do you want me to read, or would you like to read?
You go ahead.
Okay, so again, this is coming directly from Sana Amanat. To understand the significance of the role, here's a swift history lesson for Captain Marvel, whose civilian identity is Carol Danvers. She'd been known as Ms. Marvel since 1968. Yes, people actually liked Ms. Marvel, the original Ms. Marvel. In 2012, Ms. Marvel's bathing suit-like attire, because it's problematic.
Right.
It actually wasn't as scandalous as they make it sound out to be. It was like a unitard. Was revamped into red, blue, and gold. It was a uniform to allude to Danvers' Air Force background, and she was reintroduced to audiences as Captain Marvel. And the book was canceled multiple times.
Good.
Multiple times. As Marvel's vice president and Sana Amanat's co-worker and or employee of creative development, Stephen Wacker puts it, she is Earth's mightiest hero. Period.
This is where I get mad.
Period. She is the strongest Marvel character.
Earth's mightiest hero, period. Not Earth's mightiest female hero. And this is where I'm going to have some words. Because a lot of people, myself included, our problem with this has been the fact that we wanted her to be a good character and be a superhero, and to be about her as a good character, not as her being a female character. It's like the fact they keep pushing that she's, we need a hero and all that. The fact they keep pushing something that's clearly, promoting that it's female. And now they're saying, well, she's Earth's mightiest hero, period. Not Earth's mightiest female hero. And I'm like, but that's what people are mad about. It's like, she's a good hero, a good character, fine. She's a good hero and a good character, and her being a woman is secondary. But that's not the way it's been presented. Her being a woman is the primary reason that she's there, and she's never been alluded to until now.
Yeah, now that's kind of a problem, because, people talk about, how they sort of set these characters up in the MCU. I mean, it was kind of genius with even the Black Panther, because he was introduced in Civil War, but they actually mentioned vibranium in Wakanda even back to the very first Captain America movie. Mm-hmm. So there's, they'd mentioned the Black Panther. Captain Marvel was never mentioned at all, and there were plenty of opportunities to mention her with the Avengers Initiative and all that. Never mentioned at all until the very tail end of Infinity War. And, if I were Scarlett Johansson, I'd be kind of pissed.
I would be too, because they keep acting like she's the bestest thing and she's the first female lead we're doing and all this other stuff. And Black Widow's been there
pretty much since the beginning.
Yes.
And she has to fight to get a solo film. They're finally going to give her one, but after Captain Marvel.
Right, and the thing is about her is she kicks ass and can stay and hold on with the Avengers without powers.
I know, right? Like, her only powers are kung fu.
So I'm like, and she kicks ass and holds her own without powers.
Without powers.
And, but no, we need this character, because we need a strong female character, because we haven't had any in Marvel yet. God. And it's like, to me, I think Black Widow is a stronger female character than Captain Marvel. Anyway, go ahead. Oh, I like the one about this. Oh, this is where she pats herself on the back.
Oh, this is where Sana Amanat pats herself on the back, and that's basically what this is all about.
Yes.
How awesome Sana Amanat is, according to Sana Amanat.
So, as the editor of the Captain Marvel comic, I witnessed firsthand how the audience transformed around Danvers' reimagining. A contingency of superfans coined the character, celebrated the change as a sign that comics are becoming more welcome to female audiences. But comics have been welcome to female audiences for one. Two, this group, how big is this group? Because I can say we have a mighty fan base army of people who follow our comic, and it's 10 people
on Tumblr.
And if it's so great, and if it's so great and it's so important and so fantastic, how come the damn book's been shut down and restarted how many times now in the last few years?
I thought it was 5. Somebody said in the comments on previous Captain Marvel video they think it's been rebooted 7 times.
And in the last few years.
Not sustainable numbers, clearly.
Yeah, clearly it's not as big and bad and popular as you keep saying it is. It's all the spin here. Go ahead.
Well, I think the only reason they keep rebooting it is because they announced the movie, so they have to have it because it looks really bad. Like, yeah, we're gonna do this movie with Captain Marvel. We're gonna make a big deal about Captain Marvel, but we're not gonna have a comic book to support it because nobody wants it. But that should be your first indicator that maybe a movie's not a good idea.
Right.
If the comic book doesn't sell.
If you would do the character like Ms. Marvel, I think people would be more interested in it. They'd be excited about it. And they take what's popular about the character and keep that in there. I think it would do good. But the problem we're having is people are not going to go watch it just because there's this clear agenda with it. And it's just make a damn good movie. That's all people want. It doesn't matter if it's a male hero, female hero. They just want a good character in a good movie.
Yeah, and I think Disney and Marvel Studios are trying to sell as a good superhero movie. This article pretty much confirms all of the fears that a lot of people have had that this movie is going to be overly political. This was not a smart move, and I don't think this was Disney. I think this was Marvel, and it's not a good move.
People are already concerned about it, and then you put this out. And like I said, I don't want Captain Marvel to suck. I want it to be good. I want to see it, and I want it to be good. But I'm really concerned about it when more people are interested and excited about the cat.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a little concerning.
Well, she talks about how there really weren't. She loved Indiana Jones and how there wasn't a female equivalent. I beg to differ, and we'll talk about that. She said there was Sigourney Weaver and Alien, of course, but there wasn't enough of that spectrum of confidence and sass and a little bit of a mess. Just a mix of everything. Women weren't allowed to do that bullshit. Ripley is considered one of the greatest sci-fi heroes, male or female, of all time. And when she was, when Alien and Aliens came out, nobody made a big deal about her being a woman. It's just like, oh, she kicks ass, she's got a big ass gun, she's shooting aliens, and she still has a tender side. She goes and takes care of Newt, the little girl, and all that. But I would argue that Princess Leia probably fit
I would
in
think
there
Leia
too.
did. I mean, there's been over the years, there's been lots of characters that could fit into this. There've been strong females a lot, and I don't know. I'm just so tired of this narrative.
But
and, Wonder Woman, never.
Oh my God, yeah, we'll talk about that here. Let's talk about you talk about the training she had to do.
Oh yeah, she goes on about her intense physical training for 9 months. I'm 100% sure she did. That's not unusual for a movie like this, that you have to do training. She's able to deadlift over 200 pounds and hip thrust over 400 pounds. I'm sorry, that's funny. But then she's talking about all the training she did, and she goes, it doesn't matter to anyone else, but it did to me. She says a sense of pride, breaking the boundary of what it means for a woman to be muscular and strong, and her own body to be used as a tool. It felt meaningful. Yeah, says all these women in the military every day.
You mean like Gal Gadot, who played Wonder Woman 2 years before Captain Marvel came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was an actual soldier.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what gets me about the Wonder Woman thing? Wonder Woman was a good movie, and you knew it was going to be a female lead because it's called Wonder Woman. But it wasn't about her being a woman all the time. You know what I mean? And the promotion for it was about, here's Wonder Woman, she's gonna kick ass and take names. It wasn't, hey, it's Wonder Woman. It's, you know what I mean? It's you know what I'm saying? They didn't do this gender.
Man, look out.
Yeah. It wasn't this gender.
Here she comes.
It wasn't a big gender thing. I mean, woman's in her title, but
they never once. I don't think they ever. I'm thinking back to the trailers for Wonder Woman. Now my memory's a little foggy, but I don't remember them ever pushing the female angle. It's just like, here's a kick-ass movie with Wonder Woman. Go see it. And people went to go see it, and it was good.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next one. But I think what they're tripping up here is their constant focus on the fact that it's not a good character, it's a female character. I think you need to make sure you worry about whether the character is good or not, male or female, and you need to focus on the character and not put so much on, she's a woman. Do we mention she's a woman? Guess what? She's a woman. Go ahead.
Yeah, so now, we talk about, again, the first half of the article is pretty innocuous. She's happy to get the role, she's happy to act, whatever. And then we start going down this whole of, this is my activism. We're like, okay, she's a feminist character. The bestest feminist character. It's like, okay, well, whatever. That's fine. Now we're starting to really get into what Brie Larson and or Sana Amanat are hoping to accomplish with this movie that is not supposed to be activism, but is activism. So what she can do is make an impact. Much of her drive these days is using her celebrity as a platform to push for social change. She's heavily involved in the Time's Up movement, was one of the first actors to adopt an inclusion rider in her contract mandating diversity in casting and production staff, and is a vocal advocate for representation in the media. As she begins her global Captain Marvel press tour, she has pledged to spotlight other women behind the scenes, insisting on gender and racial parity in the press and wearing mostly female designers. Inclusion has to be a choice. It's not happening naturally. Larson says bluntly, you have to fight for it.
Well, I have no...
Force it.
I have no problem with mandating diversity. I mean, it's a little. I'm an actor, so I'm going to tell you you have to hire because I'm so important. But like Robin Williams used to do something like that where he'd ask that they hire so many homeless people or people that needed help to be on into the cast and crew. So I mean, I'm not against that at all. I think that there needs to be more diversity. What I have a problem with is what type of diversity? Because in one sentence she's saying mandating diversity in casting and production staff, but then she talks about when she's going to spotlight the women. So wait, it's diversity in women? Like, so you can hire a lot of women of different colors as long as they're women.
I think that is probably the implication, yes.
And I'm a woman, and I'm saying this. So,
Yeah, now she's talking about starting a school to train people, which is fine. Like I said, it's just... we need young people to carry on this tradition in movie making, and it would be great if we had more diversity coming in through that. So she wants to start a school for women to...
No, it's diversity. I think it's supposed to be for everybody, but mostly women. It's like, what was that thing? And it was for everyone, but mostly. Oh, it's in Sam Eagle. It's a performance about all the countries in the world, but mostly America.
Oh yeah, the Muppets, the one Muppet show at Disney. Yeah,
that reminds me of.
So, I mean, look, she's allowed to do whatever she wants to do,
and if she can do some stuff and get people, that's cool.
That's fine, but don't tell people that this movie is not going to be political when you've got the actress herself saying, I want to use this as a platform for my political beliefs, and Sana Amanat, who is a bigwig at Marvel, writing the article, and she clearly has political bias.
Right.
So just to at least be honest at what the movie actually is going to be.
Yeah, and I don't want it to suck. I think most people don't want it to suck. Everybody's hoping that Marvel will keep it in line. But I was hoping with She-Ra that DreamWorks would keep it in line, or Netflix would, and look how that turned out. So, if you don't want people to flip out, and you're trying to calm people down and say, is this a good movie? We're not trying to push any kind of agenda. It's probably a bad thing to do. Have an article out there that immediately announces, hey, we got an agenda.
Yeah, because I think Disney and Marvel Studios have been very careful to try to, make sure they could calm people down and get them, they just want their money. Like, if the movie winds up being an agenda-filled movie, whatever, they get their money opening weekend and they get their money back. This could potentially turn people off, right? And they may potentially not go see the movie because this one article confirms every fear that a lot of people have that the movie will be overly political. People
just want a good movie. They don't want, they want to escape this stuff. They deal with this crap every day on the internet. They just want a good character. Good character is one thing. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. If it's a good character, it doesn't matter. Like Wonder Woman was a female, but she was a good character. It didn't matter that it matters. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the main thing about her. It seems like Captain Marvel, the main thing about Captain Marvel is that Captain Marvel's a woman is what their push is. And that concerns me.
And I'm going to bring this up because I got to bring this up because a lot of people are bringing this up and it's so ironic. Brie Larson is pushing for diversity, racial diversity. It's Captain Marvel. Do you know who Captain Marvel was when I was a kid reading comics? Captain Marvel was a black woman named Monica Rambeau. And you know what? She's not Captain Marvel in this movie.
No.
I'm just saying, if they really wanted to push the diversity and racial parity, parity, not parody. Yeah. They would have picked Monica Rambeau, who was actually very popular, and she was the leader. If I recall, she was the leader of the Avengers in the 1980s, and she was a pretty popular character, and it never felt like there was an agenda being pushed with her.
Well, that's an interesting point. Why is it Carol Danvers? Because Carol Danvers is in the current incarnation that has been rebooted how many flipping times in the last couple of years?
Yeah, when I was a kid, Carol Danvers lost her powers to Rogue.
Right.
And, there were some issues there. But yeah, Monica Rambeau, a black woman, was Captain Marvel.
That's a good point. If you truly wanted to be diverse, you wouldn't be just, I was pushing for diversity in everybody who works under me and around me. But my character has to be, the white woman.
Right. Yeah. Which
that's a good point. That's a very good point.
A lot of people have been making that point. They're like, if you really were that, if you were really that progressive and you're really concerned about racial, then why couldn't we have because we already have the first female Avenger getting her own movie. We have Black Widow as getting her own movie finally, because I think it's been long overdue. She's been with the franchise since pretty much the beginning. We don't have a black woman as a superhero yet.
That's a very good point.
So why, if you're really that interested in, step down and let somebody take over. Let somebody take over as Monica Rambeau.
Now. But it's not about agenda. Don't you know? Me personally, I'm hoping it's good. I think, but it's a little concerning when people are more excited about the cat than they are about her. And it's so much so that they were joking they're going to do a bunch of variant covers with the cat for Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it does. I mean, the pre-sales are on par with Solo. Solo wasn't, didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. I personally don't think this is going to do as well as people. Well,
you're not allowed to not like it, because if it doesn't do well, it's going to be all meant.
There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, if it fails, it'll be because of all the misogynists. It can't possibly be because people didn't like it, or it'll be Russian bots, or one of the other.
It'll be some excuse.
Many excuses they have. They can't just fess up and be like, hey, people didn't like the movie for whatever reason. But this article is not going to help.
Well, let's just hope.
Put butts in seats. I'm just saying.
Let's just hope, because it's in a really a lot of people don't read InStyle. A lot of people that would be the target audience for this movie would not really read InStyle. So let's just hope this is these two trying to get their personal feminist thing out there, but the movie itself isn't going to be leaning too much this way, because it's an obscure well, not obscure magazine, but not the type of magazine people would read.
Right.
Who are going to probably watch Captain Marvel.
The man babies aren't going to read InStyle.
So let's just hope that this was just them trying to get the word out there that they wanted to get their agenda through, and that the movie itself isn't that bad. That's my hope. We'll stick with that.
We'll see. So we're going to wrap this one up?
Yes.
Okay, so please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.